What Muhammad Ali did to one of his opponents with his fists shocked everyone. A fight that even now people debate, in which its ending terrified everyone watching. When Muhammad Ali and Sonny Liston stepped into the ring for the heavyweight title, they didn't just create boxing history. They ignited two of the most controversial moments the sport has ever seen. The punch that ended their battle shocked everyone. What Ali did to Sonny Liston with his fist was never seen before in boxing. We will relive it today in this video, and it all started in 1964 in Miami Beach, Florida, where they fought for the first time. At the time, Clay was a huge underdog, a long shot at 8-to-1 odds. But in one of boxing's biggest upsets, the young challenger stunned the world in the 7th round of the first fight and again in their second fight. At the time of their fight, Sonny Liston wasn't just a heavyweight champion, he was the most feared man in boxing. Many considered him one of the greatest heavyweights ever, and for good reason. By the time he dismantled Floyd Patterson to claim the title, Liston had already beaten 8 of the top 10 contenders in the division. 7 of those wins came by knockout. Fighters weren't exactly lining up to face him. Even Henry Cooper, the British champion, admitted he'd only consider a title fight if Clay won, because stepping into the ring with Liston was a different story. Liston learned to box while serving time for armed robbery in the Missouri State Penitentiary. His career was tied to the mob, with his contract largely controlled by Frankie Carbo, a Lucchese crime family member who ran boxing for the mafia. Though Liston's criminal past was behind him, he became a symbol of the sport's darker side. Distrusting reporters didn't help. Many portrayed him as nothing more than a thug and a bully. Liston's reputation as an unstoppable force only added to the shock of what happened when he faced the brash young Cassius Clay. Before their first fight, Muhammad Ali, then still Cassius Clay, put on a masterclass in psychological warfare. He relentlessly taunted Sonny Liston, calling him a big ugly bear, and even showing up at Liston's home with a busload of fans, shouting insults through a megaphone. Ali's antics didn't stop there. At press conferences, he would pace, shout, and mock Liston, turning every event into a spectacle.
I saw Sonny Liston a few days ago, Cassius.
Ain't he ugly? He's too ugly to be the world's champ.
Liston, known for his quiet and intimidating demeanor, wasn't used to this kind of treatment. But the breaking point came after their first fight. Ali's continued mocking reportedly pushed Liston to fire a gun outside Ali's house, aiming to scare him. This fight was more than just a contest for the heavyweight title. It was a clash of two contrasting forces. When they stepped into the ring in February 1964, the atmosphere was deadly, and only one man would win, but getting there would not be easy. As the bell rang to start the fight, Liston came out swinging, clearly angry and looking to end things quickly. But Clay's speed and footwork were on full display from the very beginning. He slipped and dodged most of Liston's wild punches, making the champion look clumsy and frustrated. As the round went on, Clay gained confidence, landing a combination that got the crowd on their feet with about 30 seconds left. He followed it up with a flurry of jabs that found their mark as the round extended an extra 8.5 seconds, thanks to the referee not hearing the bell. As the second round began, the atmosphere grew heavier. Liston, clearly frustrated by his poor showing in the first round, started to settle into his rhythm. He pressed forward with a fierce determination, and at one point, he trapped Clay against the ropes, delivering a brutal left hook that sent a shockwave through the crowd. Clay later admitted he was hurt, feeling the power of that punch in his bones. For a brief moment, it seemed like the fight could be slipping away from him, but Liston didn't capitalize on the opportunity. Instead of going all in, he allowed Clay to recover, and in that time, the young challenger regained his composure. With his speed and footwork, Clay was able to escape the corner and reassert control. In the third round, Clay started to take charge of the fight. About 30 seconds in, he unleashed a series of rapid combinations that rocked Liston. He landed a jab and followed it up with a powerful right hand, causing a bruise to form under Liston's right eye and a deep cut under his left, which would later require 8 stitches to close. This was the first time in Liston's entire career that he'd been cut, a blow to his image as an invincible fighter. A clearly angered Liston rallied at the end of the round. as Clay seemed tired and delivered punishing shots to Clay's body.
5 seconds remaining in round 3. Is a bit hurt.
It was probably Liston's best moment in the entire fight. In the 4th round, Clay seemed to take a step back, keeping his distance while Liston appeared to take control. At ringside, Joe Louis commented, "It's looking good for Sonny Liston." But as Clay returned to his corner, something unusual happened. He began to complain about a burning sensation in his eyes, claiming he couldn't see properly. Upon inspection, there was something in his eye that was causing the discomfort. It remains unclear how this happened, but there has been speculation that it could have been a form of foul play. Some believe Liston's camp may have been involved, although no definitive proof of cheating has ever emerged. This mysterious eye issue added an unexpected twist to the fight, fueling controversy and suspicion. Clay later revealed that for much of the round, he could only make out a faint shadow of Liston. Despite his limited vision, he used his speed and movement to keep away from Liston and survive the round. By the time the 6th round came around, his sight had cleared, and he regained control of the fight, starting to dominate once again. As the bell rang for the 7th round, Clay immediately noticed something strange. Liston had spit out his mouthguard. While this may seem strange, it wasn't as strange or shocking as what happened in their second fight. But let's end the first fight before heading there. With the champion oddly still seated, Clay began to move toward the center of the ring, his arms raised high. The crowd was on edge as Clay danced, effortlessly gliding on his feet, showing off what would later be known as the Alley Shuffle. But something was wrong. As Clay continued his celebration, Howard Cosell's voice crackled through the air. Wait a minute! Wait a minute! Sonny Liston is not coming out." The seconds ticked by, and the reality set in. Liston had not answered the bell. The ring was silent except for the buzz of disbelief as Clay stood victorious. Liston, sitting on his stool, became the first heavyweight champion since Jess Willard in 1919 to retire mid-fight, leaving the ring and the world stunned. But the real stun came in the second fight with the punch that shocked everyone. The first fight ended and Clay was declared the winner by technical knockout. As the dust settled, it was clear that a rematch was inevitable. Fast forward to May 25, 1965, when the two were set to meet again in Lewiston, Maine. The build-up to the second fight was filled with tension, anticipation, and an unmistakable air of unfinished business. Ali, now fully embracing his new identity as he changed his name, wasn't holding back. His trash talk grew sharper, his confidence towering. Liston, humiliated and determined, was hungry for redemption, but the weight of his first loss seemed to haunt him. What would happen in this rematch? Was Liston ready to reclaim his title, or was there more to this fight than anyone could predict? The answer would come quickly, but it wouldn't be one anyone expected. The second fight would add yet another layer to their already storied rivalry, and the way it ended would leave fans questioning everything. What transpired that night is still debated today, shrouded in mystery and intrigue. The conclusion of the second Ali-Liston fight on May 25, 1965, remains one of the most contentious moments in boxing history. Midway through the first round, Liston threw a left jab, and Ali, with remarkable speed, countered with a fast right hand, sending the former champion to the canvas. Liston hit the mat hard, then struggled to get up, rolling over and trying to rise, only to fall back again. The problem was, many in the crowd and at ringside didn't actually see the punch land. The atmosphere quickly became chaotic as the referee, Jersey Joe Walcott, struggled to regain control. Walcott, a former heavyweight champion himself, had difficulty getting Ali to move to a neutral corner. Ali, standing over Liston, taunted his opponent, shouting, "Get up and fight, sucker!" and "Nobody will believe this." His words echoed through the ring, amplifying the confusion and spectacle of the moment. The scene was immortalized by ringside photographer Neil Leifer, who captured the iconic image of Ali standing over Liston, defiant and brimming with confidence. He was super confident in his fights, and his skill was often unmatched. The punch that won Ali the fight was not seen by many and is still thought about today. Just like his fights against cocky opponents is also thought of in modern times, because his fights against trash-talking arrogant fighters were very entertaining to watch. Click the video on screen to watch it.